Hey guys, Dream Envoy here, and welcome back to more of Let's Play Winds of Change. Man, it's been so long since I've recorded this game. It's just that the past week has been so hectic in real life. So I just had to make it a priority to get things situated, things with my job, things with paying bills, which I'm still behind on that. But, you know what? Take it one step at a time. If I remember from the last video, we, went down to Town Square, alerted Valessa that we did have a, prophecy to tell. The town has not burned down yet. Hopefully we can prevent that by telling Mylus about our vision. So, off to Mylus's house then. He has a little laboratory, cool. We entered Mylus's house with an aura of purpose. Though they didn't know what I saw, they knew it was important. We see him shuffling papers at his table, oblivious to our existence.
Hey Mylus, we need to have a word.
He doesn't seem to respond and continues his business. Fortam seems anxious and taps his foot on the floor. A few moments later, Valessa gives up and interjects.
Mylus, snap out of it. We need to talk about something important.
She slams a fist down on the table, startling Mylus. He jumps back a few feet in fright, and then laughs. Whatever he was looking at, it fully engrossed him.
You know what they say about death, right? When we die, we go on to live in the realm of spirits. With that logic, spiritual energy should be infinite.
I'm not really sure how to respond to that. I mean, we've had seers and scribes for thousands of years. I'm pretty sure we'll have them for thousands more to come.
Wouldn't that be beautiful? Sorry for rambling, but we should all have a seat. I'm afraid things aren't going to go as planned.
He motions to the back of his house, a carpeted area. With no chairs in sight, it looks like we'd be sitting on the floor. We make our way over there, questioning just what he meant.
I think we were going to say the same thing to you. I mean, the seer had a vision last night. A big one. Hopefully we have enough time to get through all of this.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I'm past the point of subtlety. So, in the interest of time, I'll get right to it. The induction ceremony is henceforth cancelled.
Huh. Well, that's fine. Just so long as I still get to tell you that our village is gonna be burnt down and there's this crazy sword that turns us into empty suits of armors or something.
What? You can't be serious! You hype us all up and take it away? There better be an explanation for this.
I'm not too upset. Fortam is fuming with anger and very upset. My guess Mylus was right. Plans have changed. But the timing, along with my vision, was odd.
What's going on here, Mylus?
I'm afraid that's a very complicated answer. Let's back things up a few moments. Seer, tell us about the vision you had.
Finally! Finally! It took long enough. I take a deep breath and we all sit down. That was a moment I told him everything. How Valinor was destroyed by the Triumvirate. I told him about the blade and the agony. How the man who led the attack had a mystical blade. Not only did it kill Ulrich, it killed me as well. When I finished my story, I met with silence. They look amongst themselves in shock and confusion. That's fine. It was a lot to process all at once.
Just as I expected. It was only a matter of time before you saw it. That is, if the spirits truly cared about our protection.
Wait, slow down a minute. How do we know nothing was lost in translation? Remember how abstract visions are known to be?
Yeah, but I wouldn't risk it.
I can confirm that an attack is imminent. Besides, Valessa, you know visions aren't like that. The spirits have gotten strong enough. It's no longer an issue.
But this can't be true.
It is. And unfortunately, it's just the start. But there are still some important matters at hand. Before I send you off, I'll tell you everything.
Okay. He smiles at each of us before taking a deep breath. I notice large bags under my eyes. Under his eyes, signs of unrest. He must have been living with this secret for a while.
I didn't want to tell you until you needed to know. I'm just lucky that this vision waited until I was ready. The Triumvirate wants to occupy Valenorth, as they did Mazeo. I know what you three lost in Mazeo, and I'm sorry, but what they plan to bring to Valenorth is far, far worse. Punishment for my father's involvement with the rebellion.
Just like that empty armor seemed to imply. So Valenorth did have some relation to the rebellion. Wait, empty armor? We found out through a book. And it wasn't just during Mylus' short reign either.
We're supposed to be nonpartisan.
Yeah, that's our whole deal. Why would your father do that to us?
I'll never forgive you, Mylus. Your father is responsible for all of this? He betrayed Valenorth the moment he helped them.
Well, it wouldn't be Mylus' fault, it would be his father's fault. And I'm sure his father had some good reason.
Understandable, but this is not my fault. Surely you know about my father's disappearance. But have you heard the stories of the recent rebel victory?
Rebel victory?
The blade that the seer mentioned. It was taken from the Triumvirate. Without it, they are weak and vulnerable. But it was not an easy feat to accomplish. In their pursuit of the blade, many people died, including the leader of the rebellion itself. The new leader, Damek, sent it here for safekeeping. I hid it in the Grand Tree where no one would find it. I want you to take it and seek out Damek in Mazeo.
Hey, slow down. This makes sense to you, but it's all a blur to us. Your father was one of the men that died to get this blade?
Indeed he was, Fortem. The rebel leader's death, my father's disappearance, I'm afraid those are intricately connected.
You mean...
Yes, I do. My father didn't work with the rebellion. He created it. The first allegiance in Valenorth's entire history.
Huh. Guess it was even more than that. Question is, why?
Whoa.
He formed an allegiance with insurgents in Mazeo. Together, they grew and created a large army, large enough to steal the Triumvirate's sacred blade.
I don't understand why he'd do that. We're fine on our own. We always have been.
Times are changing and leaving us behind. I'm afraid that Valenorth is a dying culture, Valessa. What I am about to tell you must not leave this room.
What is it?
You know of Salberg, right? How it houses the spirit idol of Valenorth.
No.
Yes, of course. But it's been blocked off for a long time. I've never gone to see a spirit idol in person.
I'm afraid it might remain that way. Seer, on the eve of your birth, it went dark. Valenorth is living unlimited spiritual energy.
On the eve of my birth, are you saying that I would have connection with the idol going dark?
There's no way I believe that, Mylus. Our connection with the spirits is eternal.
I wish that were the case, Fortem. It pains me to say this, but it's true. You are the last seer we shall ever have.
If that was the case, then would you say that the spirits actually are finite? Like, if I understand this correctly, the seer is able to see things using spiritual energy. And with that idol going dark, that's an indication that there's no spiritual energy left. Which means, if that's the case, then yeah, I would be the last seer.
Normally, the spirit idol chooses a child. That child is imparted with a surge of spiritual energy. When they pass away, it does the same to the next generation. But you, seer, it gave everything to you. Like the spirit realm is making one final push. I don't know why, but I have my theories.
It sounds like the spirits have given up on us. Perhaps we took their gift for granted and abused them. Without that idol and their energy, what will happen to us?
I expect that Valenorth will become like any other nation. We'll take history into our own hands, rather than act on guidance. It's not a bad thing, and I don't think the spirits gave up on us.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it. It doesn't sound like giving up. It just sounds like they're, putting all of their faith in me, which I'm like, oh, sheesh. That's a lot of pressure not to, screw up and, you know, get killed.
In fact, I think it's the opposite. They're placing all of their hope on us.
Exactly.
The seer and that blade can save us all.
Exactly what I'm saying. Well, I don't know if I'd be able to save you all, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're just placing a ton of faith on me.
Back to that blade again? What does that have to do with all of this?
It's not an ordinary blade, as you've been told. In order to harness it, you need remarkable strength. Or, in other words, a vast amount of spiritual energy.
But Sophie was able to do that. So does Sophie have a ton of spiritual energy? Like, they keep implying that the seer also has a ton of spiritual energy, and like you just said, I should because the idol gave everything to me. But in the vision, Sophie was wielding the blade, not me. So it makes me wonder if Sophie is really more powerful than he seems.
Seer, I think the spirits chose you to wield this blade. To take it, join the rebels in Maseo, and defeat the Triumvirate. I know this is asking a lot of you, but we always follow their lead. Valenorth may be attacked, but we can rebuild from the ashes. Our true goal here should be the destruction of the Triumvirate. History should be in our hands, not in the hands of unjust gods.
Yeah, you can rebuild from the ashes, but the thing is, people would still, you know, die.
So that's why your father formed this alliance? To take control of our history in the spirit's absence? And to make sure the Triumvirate doesn't dictate our future?
He wanted to strengthen our bonds with outsiders as well. Without visions, we have to take things as they come. Foresight helped us out, but we won't always have it. What we do have, however, is the potential of the seer. I think that's why he sacrificed himself to get this blade. He knew that you'd be able to wield it and achieve liberation. Please, take the blade and flee to Mazeo. When the ceremony is supposed to start, I'll tell the people. They're all rounding up, so it'll be easy to evacuate.
Flee to Mazeo. But isn't that the nation that was conquered?
We might be a bit behind, but we'll meet in Mazeo. There's lots to plan, and little time to plan it. We'll need new homes and blades for any volunteers.
And maybe some disguises, since we already established that Mazeo is occupied by the Triumvirate?
As far as I can tell, this is not up for debate. If you think it is, then consider it an order from your elder. Leave as soon as you are able, and we'll meet again soon.
He stands up and walks away. Moments later, he's back to his usual business. We exchange glances with one another, overwhelmed.
Listen, I'm gonna try and be the voice of reason here. Mylus said a lot of stuff, and it could be true or false. But if an attack is coming, we should go either way.
Yeah.
Especially if there's a weapon we can use. I think we should grab it from the Grand Tree first. Again, not siding with anyone here, just using logic.
I like your logic.
Yeah, you're right. We do the same thing, even if Mylus didn't tell us to. Find something to defend ourselves with, and leave Valinor. But he said the spirits gave you all their power? And they cut their influence from Valinor for good? This changes Celestia's entire history, not just our actions. I can't say I fully understand, but it makes sense. Mylus' father foresaw all this and took action. I feel hatred, but at the same time, I feel hope.
Let's take this one step at a time, Valessa. We'll grab the weapon and make our way out of here. The rest can fall into place as we move on.
We nod, and we stand up as well. With an attack on the way, we had to move. Mylus would take care of evacuating everyone else. If we got that blade first, Zoe couldn't use it.
So, to the Grand Tree then? I'll try to maintain one modicum of sanity. It's not like our lives were just turned around.
I'm sure we'll manage as long as we're together. I'm not giving up on any of you. I promise.
Thank you.
There's nothing we can't do if we all pitch in. Let's go to the Grand Tree and get that blade.
Alright. First of all, I know that I could, check these guys' scenario, but let's talk to our party members first.
Hey,
What do you think of this? Are you ready to leave Valinor? What do you think about this blade?
you mean everything that Mylus told us? I'm freaking out. I can hardly believe it. But the spirits would never lie to us, right?
Sheesh, I hope not. But yeah, I understand how you're feeling. I mean, it's your entire way of life, getting flipped on its head.
I can't believe the Triumvirate is our enemy. I know they had their reasons with Mazeo, but there's no reason to attack Valinor. Not at all.
Well, like Mylus said, it seems, Mylus is saying it seems to be an act of revenge. I think they wanted their sword back. What are your thoughts on the Triumvirate? What's in store for Valinor's future? Now, obviously, they want the sword back.
Then why don't they ask for it? There's no need to attack us like this. Makes me wonder if there's more to Mazeo.
Do you really? Huh. Okay, everything about the Triumvirate so far that I'm getting impressions from, just from, Sophie's scenario, is that they are very cruel and very much power hungry. At least that's but also a touch of suspicious. Like they have some other plans that they're not even telling Sophie. Just makes me, I don't know, it just seems kind of strange to think so highly of them since... So, honestly, to me, it wasn't too much of a surprise to, have them want to attack us, but then again, that's just my first impression.
They said they took it over to fight piracy. But I think they're acting in their own interest. Burning down our village? They don't care about Alestia.
Maybe the Moonblade is just that important? You're right, I'm sure there's more to it. Yeah, I have to agree with you. They seem to be acting more out of their own interest than the interests of the people.
It only makes sense, right? It must have something to do with the spirits. Tyrants can't stand when something is in their way.
Yep. But now I'm curious. Now you're getting me interested in your thoughts on...
I always thought they were good rulers. Sometimes you have to make tough decisions. Mazeo shocked us all, but we've all moved on.
My philosophy is always question authority. I don't always have it on for the best of the people. People in power tend to make selfish decisions.
There's also a line you're not meant to cross, though. Burning down an innocent village is way past that. No goal could justify what they plan to do with Valinor.
I don't think it was justified to kill innocent people in Mancio. What do you think about the blade?
I'll decide when I see it. You and Mylus made it seem really incredible. But at the end of the day, it's just a sword.
Yeah, a sword that apparently controls your spirit.
I doubt it'll be the turning point of this battle. Of course, I wouldn't mind being proven wrong. What else can you tell me about it?
That'll be the turning point of this battle. It's more than a blade, it just looks like one. They're like it took down an entire village. It steals life to grow an army, Valessa. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it to her straight.
So, the more he killed, the more he had to serve him? And Ulrich's life powered a bunch of armored suits? That means their army could always outnumber Alestia.
It's morbid, but true. Thankfully, they don't have the blade yet. We know what the blade does, thanks to our vision. Now let's get it before this Sophie guy gets it.
I'm starting to see why it might be a threat. But we won't be stealing life like that, right? We should keep it from them and limit their numbers.
If we want to win, we might have to. That is really messed up.
Good. I was starting to worry. Without that blade, their army's finite. They can't hide behind numbers like before.
And what about you, Fortem?
Hey.
What do you think of all this? Obviously, we're gonna grab the sword before we leave.
It's a little overwhelming, to be honest. I know I acted all cool, but I'm not really sure. I'm used to a simple life. Now that's all gone.
Things can't always be simple, Fortem.
As far as I know, Valinor is the last spiritual nation. If we lose our connection, what's going to happen? Will Alestia just be completely devoid of spirits?
Maybe. But, yeah, I have faith that we could adapt.
And not only that, but the Triumvirate being evil? As far as I know, they've always been benevolent. I know what we lost in Mazeo, but I've moved on.
It's really conflicting because from the player's perspective, the Triumvirate are just a bunch of jerks. So it's very contradictory for, I mean, the Triumvirate comes across to me as a group of single-minded, hive-minded tyrants. And yet everyone around me is just like, oh, they were cool, benevolent rulers, great and powerful and so loving and caring. And I'm like, what did they do and what did they ever do for us in the past? All I'm seeing right now? I don't care what you tell me about them being benevolent. Right now, they're killing people. I don't get that. Like, I mean, like, I understand it, but I don't know how to feel because they keep saying the Triumvirate is benevolent, but we haven't seen anything benevolent of them yet.
Anyway, I can process all of that later. I'm more worried about what's going to happen to us. Not Valinor or Lestia. Just you, me, and Valessa.
Think about others as well, Fortem. We're not the only living beings in the world. What do you know about the Triumvirate? Don't other nations handle fine with spirits? No need to act cool with me. You can be open. I'm sure we'll be fine as long as we stick together. Well, honestly, I want to see all four of them. I hope I have that opportunity.
Nothing anymore, I'm afraid. It seems their goals have changed to conquest. With Mazeo, it made sense. But not with us. I thought they were our gods. Our protectors. I'm starting to doubt that they even cared. I mean, was this their goal all along?
What will be interesting is that they weren't gods. They just... Because so far, if I remember right, you just assume they're gods because, one, they're powerful, and two, they're very, 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 very old. Like, you don't have any history of... There's no history of the world, Alestia, without the Triumvirates. But it makes me wonder, did the Triumvirates alter history? Or maybe they just came to power a long time ago and just forced everyone to assume that they're gods.
All four nations, under their thumb. If they just asked first, we could have cut a deal. But straight to violence? I don't get it.
I wish things could have been resolved this peacefully. We have to fight. Negotiations are off the table. Well, we can't do this peacefully anymore because they're the ones being violent. I mean, both of these are equally true, but...
Yeah, and part of me wishes we still could. I mean, the attack hasn't happened yet. But I know that's a stupid wish to have. You don't beg for your life against those odds. They're coming with everything they've got. And from what you said, their power is incredible.
There's another thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah, but not as good as us. Alestia would be better if the spirits were everywhere. Valinor is perfect, and we were truly lucky to live here. But I guess those days are coming to an end. Without spiritual energy, we'll succumb to the cold. The winds from Eastcrown will take over Valinor.
Eastcrown, huh? Everything would succumb to the cold. Just find ways to adapt. That's all you can do. Something that cannot be controlled? Like, I understand, if there was a way to keep the spirits around and if we were really that dependent on them, then yeah, I would suggest that we do everything we could. But I mean, like, if it's something out of our hands and that it's inevitable that the spirits are gonna go away, the best we can do is just figure out ways that we can adapt to these changes.
I hope there's something we can do. Maybe after this, we should come back home. If we could just get that idol to shine again.
I don't know, put some rust remover on it or something. Like, what is it, bronze? I mean, I know there are some chemicals that you can polish it with. Maybe they'll fix everything. Obviously, I'm joking, but I'm sure we can be fine as long as we stick together.
Yeah, definitely. We're a team for a reason. There's nothing we can't handle.
Yeah!
I'm ready whenever you are. Let's grab that blade and head to Museo. Whatever you need, I'll be by your side.
And one last thing.
Thanks. That means a lot to me. But I wouldn't want to come off as whiny. Right now, we need to combine our strengths. The pity party seems appealing, but it'd be a waste. We can't afford to throw away the sacrifice of Mylus' father.
Good point. And you don't seem whiny to me at all. Well then, before I end this video, let's go ahead and check out Mylus and, Sophie then. Or, excuse me, Damek, not Mylus. Sorry, they seem so similar. Damek conversed with Grease? Grizz? Mayor Amazio. I really like this music. Accordion music. I love the accordion. There was much more to be done. The rebellion could settle down. Pretty much any type of blow organ. Even reeds. There was much to be done before the rebellion could settle down, but first on his agenda was procuring the city's underground tunnels. A place to operate in secrecy would be essential to their continued success.
Come on, Grizz, this must be possible. Even their honor guard barely monitors the place. When they do, they're oblivious to our existence. If we don't push them, they won't push back. Although, one final push might be required. Either way, we need that deed as a rightful claim.
Damek, for the last time, it's not so simple. If the Triumvirate knew I was helping you, they'd kill me. I wouldn't be surprised if they damaged Museo as well.
Grease, you look cool. You look like an elderly, but pretty damn tough man. I like that. It's nice design. As opposed to Damek over there who just looks freaking adorable.
Oh, come on, it's not that risky. We'll operate silently. They'll never know.
Don't be so presumptuous. I mean, they could. You're trying to be sneaky, I see what you're doing, but you know, be aware of the risks.
Everything has a paper trail, Damek. They keep track of every step I take. At the end of the day, I'm still their general. I understand that you want those tunnels, but it would be too risky. They'd find us out. I'm not gambling with my life, understand?
With them, it's a gamble, I'll give you that. But with me, I'll have you know it's a certainty. I don't think you know how much we need those tunnels.
Damek, is that a threat?
Of course not. We're too close for that. Close enough that you won't have to find out. I'm sure we can come to some sort of deal.
Museo is rubbed off on you. I'd expect such tactics from pirates, not you. I have to say, you'd need something big to woo me.
Damek walks to his desk and places some papers down. He looked up at Grizz with a smile, who returned only shock.
They dig for 20 years and find nothing. I use my forces and we find it in days. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is it.
Damek, I don't believe this. This is what I've been looking for. You must tell me where it is.
I only just realized that you have a dead sheep on your shoulders.
A deed might sweeten the deal for me. Besides, you can report this finding to the Triumvirate. They'll be so ecstatic they won't notice anything else.
It is a big deal, and it might sate them. But they'd likely send forces here immediately. You want me to put a target on your new HQ?
Actually, their forces will be preoccupied. I have word that they're undertaking another mission. We'll have plenty of time to occupy and fortify.
I can't believe you found it, Damek. If you want the deed, you must give me exclusive access. Nobody else can touch it. I have my plans, and that's final.
What exactly did you find?
Of course, I'd be more than happy to, but you might have to wait a bit longer. Tapping into it requires some special means. But I promise you won't be waiting much longer. So please, if you would hand over the deed, and once they arrive, it's all yours.
What exactly did you find, Damek? Sylvie left the chambers of his masters, remaining in shock. The truth of things had been explained, and he was surprised. He knew it would take a while before he accepted these revelations.
Such a truth. And to think I never knew. This will change everything about my approach.
Master, you seem unwell. We leave tomorrow. You should get some rest. I know I'm not the one to give orders, but please.
I wish only pain and suffering for the both of you.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It seems there is more to this attack than we knew. The Triumvirate just finished explaining our true objective.
Our true objective? Sophie, what is the meaning of this?
I don't think I'm able to tell you, Halen. They trusted me alone with this information. Perhaps you can visit them on your own time.
Typical. Teasing me with information and pulling rank. I want to prove myself, Sophie. I want to be at your side.
Trust me, that would be wonderful. But this is different. It changes everything. It would be better to hear it directly from them.
All right, all right. I have to say, you seem quite distressed. I'll go talk to them, but take my advice and rest.
I'm afraid there's no time for that, Halen. I'm going to speak with the prisoner. He's coming too.
Shane is coming with us? Sophie, that doesn't make any sense.
It seems a run-in with the rebels is likely. To that end, I've come up with a fitting punishment. When you're done with our masters, meet me back here.
Yes, of course. I'm ready to take action at a moment's notice. And now, something tells me we will be.
What is the Triumvirate planning? What is their true motive that, or at least the motive that they told Sophie? And what is Holland and Sophie going to do with Shane? I hope we find out next time. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. I would highly appreciate a comment from you telling me what you think of the video. And if you want to see more videos, hit subscribe. See you guys next time.